A landmark study found that your ability to get up from the floor without support is one of the strongest predictors of long-term health after 60. Adults who struggled faced up to 5 times the risk of those who did not. But here is what most people miss. This is not a fixed limitation. It is a skill, and it can be rebuilt. It starts with understanding exactly what is changing in your body. After 60, the body's mechanics change in ways that can make getting up from the floor more challenging. Understanding these changes is the first step to overcoming them. One of the most important shifts is called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass and strength that speeds up after age 50. On average, adults lose about 1 to 2% of their muscle each year past this point, with leg strength dropping 3 to 5% each decade. This means the muscles that once powered you up from a chair or off the ground are not as quick to respond, and everyday movements can take more effort than before. Balance also becomes less reliable. The inner ear, which helps control balance, and the central nervous system both slow down with age. By 70, the body's ability to sense position and react to movement can decline by up to 40%. This makes it easier to feel unsteady, especially during movements that require coordination, like rising from the floor. Even a simple shift in weight can feel different than it did years ago. Joints in the hips, knees, and ankles tend to stiffen over time. Cartilage wears down, and the natural fluids that keep joints moving smoothly decrease by as much as half by age 70. For many, this results in a 20 to 40% reduction in joint range of motion. It is common to notice that your stride is shorter, or that bending down is harder than it used to be. These physical changes are normal, but they do not mean you have to give up on moving well. With the right approach, it is possible to rebuild strength, retrain balance, and regain flexibility, making it easier to get up and down safely at any age. Falls are the leading cause of injury for adults over 65, sending nearly 3 million people to the emergency room each year in the United States alone. 1 in 4 older adults will fall at least once a year, and about 10% of those falls result in a serious injury, like a broken bone or head trauma. But the impact goes beyond the numbers. After a fall, even if there is no immediate injury, getting stuck on the floor can bring its own dangers. Lying on the ground for an hour or more, what doctors call a long lie, raises the risk of dehydration, pressure sores, and even hospitalization. For some, it can mean losing the ability to live independently. The ability to get up from the floor is not just a matter of convenience, it is a powerful sign of overall health. Research using the sit and rise test, which measures how easily someone can lower themselves to the floor and stand back up, found that lower scores are linked to a higher risk of death over the next several years. In fact, each point higher on the test meant a 21% better chance of survival. Those who struggled the most were over 5 times more likely to experience serious health problems compared to those who moved with ease. Avoiding the floor out of fear or discomfort can actually make things worse. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, and confidence fades, creating a cycle that increases the risk of another fall. Practicing safe ways to get up not only prepares you for an emergency, but also helps maintain strength, balance, and independence. With the right approach, it is possible to break that cycle and regain control, no matter your starting point. A calm, steady approach makes all the difference when getting up from the floor. The 5-phase method is designed to use your body's natural strengths, protect your joints, and keep you safe from dizziness or strain. Each step has a purpose, and moving slowly gives your body time to adjust. Start by rolling onto your side. This gentle movement uses your core and hips, not just your back. Breathe out as you roll, letting your knees bend a little for comfort. Pausing here lets your blood pressure catch up and prevents the sudden rush of dizziness some people feel when changing positions. Next, push yourself up to a seated position. Use your hands to press into the floor or a sturdy object nearby. Keep one hand down for support and take a few slow breaths. This stage is less about speed and more about feeling stable before moving on. From seated, transition to your hands and knees. Place your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. This position spreads your weight evenly and takes pressure off your lower back. If you feel lightheaded, pause for a few seconds and focus on steady breathing. There is no need to rush. Moving at your own pace is key. Bring one foot forward so you are in a half-kneeling lunge. The front knee should be above your ankle, and your back knee can stay on the floor for balance. Use a chair or low table if you need extra support. This phase activates your glutes and thighs, setting you up for the final push. To stand, press through your front foot and use your arms for support if needed. Keep your chest lifted and use your legs to do most of the work. Once upright, pause to make sure you feel steady before taking a step. Practicing this sequence regularly builds confidence and strength, making each attempt easier over time. Modifications like using a cushion under your knee or a chair for extra help are encouraged. The goal is progress, not perfection, and every effort counts. Building strength and balance is the foundation for getting up from the floor with confidence. A simple 10-minute routine, practiced a few times a week, can make a real difference. 4 basic drills target the muscles and coordination needed for safe floor mobility, and each can be adjusted for comfort or ability. Start with chair squats. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat and your arms crossed over your chest. Then stand up by pressing through your heels. Lower yourself slowly back down and repeat. Aim for 8 to 10 repetitions, resting as needed. This exercise strengthens the thighs and hips, which do most of the work during the final push to stand. Next, move to wall push-ups. Stand facing a wall. Place your hands at chest height and step back slightly. Lower your chest toward the wall by bending your elbows, then push away to return to standing. Try for 8 to 10 repetitions, focusing on controlled movement. Wall push-ups build arm and shoulder strength, supporting you during the transition from seated to hands and knees and when using furniture for support. For balance, practice the heel-to-toe walk. Imagine a straight line on the floor and walk along it, placing one foot directly in front of the other so the heel touches the toes of the opposite foot. Take about 20 steps, keeping your gaze forward and your arms out for balance. This drill sharpens stability and coordination, which help prevent unsteadiness during each phase of getting up. Finish with glute bridges. Lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Lift your hips up, squeeze your glutes, hold for a few seconds, then lower down. Complete 10 to 15 repetitions. Glute bridges activate the core and hip muscles essential for rolling, pushing, and lunging. Each of these exercises can be modified. If getting to the floor is difficult, try seated marches or standing hip extensions instead of bridges. Start with one set and increase as you feel stronger. Practicing this routine regularly not only builds the physical skills needed to rise from the floor, but also boosts confidence, making everyday movement feel easier and safer. Margaret, age 72, remembers the first time she tried the floor exercises. She hesitated, worried she might not make it up on her own. After a few weeks of steady practice, she found herself moving with more ease and less fear. One morning when she dropped her keys in the hallway, she used the same steps she had learned, rolling to her side, pushing up and rising with support. Her daughter Emily noticed the change too. Emily says, "Mom's not just stronger, she's more confident. She even helps her friends try the routine now." Margaret smiles. "If I can do it, anyone can." Licensed physical therapists recommend a few simple guidelines to keep practice safe. Always pause if you feel pain, dizziness, or shortness of breath. These are signs to stop and seek help. Recent surgery, severe joint pain, or a history of frequent falls are reasons to check with your doctor or physical therapist before starting. If you notice new weakness or numbness, or if you have trouble standing even with support, professional evaluation is important. Practicing with a partner or near a phone adds peace of mind. With these safeguards, most adults can improve floor mobility safely and confidently. Every year after 50, muscle and balance quietly change, but so can you. Today, relearning safe floor mobility means claiming confidence, not just convenience. Independence is built on small skills practiced daily. With each effort, you are not just getting up, you are moving forward. Stay strong, and thanks for watching.